This is Kristen May from Flyleaf, and you're on BackstageAxxess.com, where the real show begins.
You're here with BackstageAxxess.com, where the real show begins, and we're here with the one and only beautiful and talented Kristen May of Flyleaf. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the tundra.
Thanks. Snowcore, you know.
Yeah, it's Snowcore. What a fitting tour for such a fitting day. And did you get to go around the falls at all? Or
no, I've been to Niagara Falls
before. Oh, you have? Okay.
On a sunny day, and it was gorgeous. I probably would have ventured, but our dressing room is actually really big today, and I enjoy doing yoga on the road, so while they were going to Niagara Falls, I was doing Shavasana.
Well, I don't think you want to be out, and it's going to be supposedly -6, the coldest day in 100 years in Buffalo. So, or Niagara Falls, obviously Buffalo Falls. So I think it's a good day for yoga.
I think so too.
The new title for the new disc, Between the Stars, was released last fall and actually debuted at 33 on the charts, which actually is pretty well, pretty good. Congratulations. The question I have, and obviously with the former singer and you coming in, has the writing styles changed between the rest of the guys, and did they change their writing styles at all to kind of fit your style a little bit? I mean, how did that all come together?
Well, I think the cool thing about the guys in this band are they are all very open when it comes to the creative process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Samir was always saying, let's not force a genre, let's not force a sound with all the songs that we were writing. Let's let each song kind of take us on a journey where it's supposed to be, and let's be open to that. You know, I think all the guys, and me included, being in a previous band for 7 years and then joining Flyleaf, and this being my third album, full-length album that I've, made with a band, or fourth, I wanted to do something that I was really proud of, and something, with Flyleaf that we were all proud of, and that we could all kind of show where we're moving forward and where we will be, and so I don't think it was a conscious effort to change the sound, but I think, it'd been 2 years since Lacey had left the band before I joined, so
right.
I think that amount of time has its share of growth, and the guys in the band have been doing it for some time as well,
right.
So I think everyone's individual writing styles just evolved in a way, and we kind of evolved together.
And speaking about your former band, is it Videra?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what she was talking about, the 4 discs, the 3 with Videra, and this is your first with Flyleaf. And like I said, actually is doing really well. And the band just released a video for Thread. And actually, it's very interesting because when you watch it, it's all lyrical, like papers put together and words and stuff like that. Who's concept to do that?
Well, that's our lyric video, so
right.
we will be shooting another video that will be more of a performance,
okay.
A story behind it. But
so that's not the finished product. That's just kind of a teaser then.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, these days a lot of people want lyric videos with
yes.
YouTube and stuff.
Right.
And I think they're great. I used to love opening up CD, pamphlets and reading all the words, but people don't really buy albums as much as they used to. So
I'm a little old, I remember that.
YouTube becomes a bit more of the way that people can find the lyrics, and so we had a couple people pitch ideas to us, and I think with the papers and just kind of like the franticness of the feel of the video, and you could feel the angst even though it was just the way the words were written, just by the fonts that they chose and how they were written, and kind of all floating about and sporadically going in and out of the camera and the camera angle, kind of focusing and unfocusing. I think it really evokes the feel of the song, which is feeling like you're kind of out of control, and how do you kind of get out of that feeling?
And you said the band's going to actually shoot more of a concept, and when is that going to take place?
Well, we're reading treatments now. I've
Okay.
been reading about 6 or 7, and oh man, I get so excited to do a new video. So it's either going to be right after this tour or right before our next tour, which I can't announce it quite yet, but it will. It will start. The next tour will start in April, so pretty quickly after this tour ends.
And when's that going to be officially announced?
I don't know. I need to talk to my manager about that.
It's already mid-February, and you're going on a tour, and it's not announced yet.
I know, right? We should probably get sell some
yeah,
tickets
maybe
for that.
like right now announce something.
Exactly.
The band actually switched producers this time around. Howard Benson produced the first three Flyleaf records, and now Don Gilmore came in. Why the switch? Why did the band decide they just want to go in a different direction with a new producer? Or
Well, yeah, I mean, Howard Benson was obviously amazing with them, and I worked with him on a couple songs whenever I had just joined the band. Whenever we put out the Who We Are EP, we wrote one song, Something Better, as our original song with Sonny from POD to kind of show a little bit about a taste of where we're going. Not that we really knew where we were going when I just joined the band, let's be honest, but, you know, something to show what we do together. And so, and I certainly liked him, but I think... whether the band felt it at first, I thought, you know, okay, I'm a new singer for you guys. We have the opportunity to try something new. It's already going to be different because I'm a different person than the previous lead singer, you know. Still going to be Flyleaf, obviously, because 4 out of the 5 members are still there. But I was one of the people that said, you know, could we just at least entertain the idea of trying something different. I just felt something in my gut, like maybe we should. And then the guys started to think, you know, maybe that could be a good idea. And, you know, we could have gone back and worked with Howard, but Don Gilmore was super interested and loved our demos that we did in Texas and seemed to be just such a great guy. And he's obviously done some amazing stuff, you know, with Dashboard Confessional, Linkin Park, Pearl Jam, and so we thought might as well try that, and it turned out great. You know, he was awesome to work with.
And going back a little bit and rewinding, and maybe fans don't know exactly, because it was kind of, you know, Lacey left right before, before the record, I think, or right when the record came out, the last record. It
was basically, I think, in our contract that she had to record.
Okay, and
New
then
Horizons.
she left.
So she recorded the vocals, and that was kind of her parting ways. And so they needed someone to tour on the album that they just made.
Now, how did you come in? How did you get involved with the guys? And, you know, how did you get picked to be the next vocalist?
Well, I was just hanging in Kansas City, where I'm from, when my band broke up around the same time that Lacey had left Flyleaf. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was writing music, you know, with different friends in L.A. and Nashville, and then just working at the coffee shop. And my manager called me and asked me if I wanted to audition for Flyleaf. And I thought, number one, how did they figure out who I am? Or, you know, I mean, my band toured for 7 years, so I mean, I know some people knew us, but I just didn't know. Our paths never crossed personally, so I didn't know how they figured out who I was.
The music business is a small world.
It really is, because it turned out that it was my booking agent who was talking to their manager, and their manager was like, we need girls to come and audition, and they tried a couple people out and they hadn't worked. And so Jonathan Edelman, my booking agent, I have him to thank. He was like, you should definitely call Kristen. And so I had the awesome opportunity of going to Texas, and we did about 5 songs and had sushi together and just got to know each other, and it worked out pretty good from the get-go. So I knew that it was something I was supposed to do.
Who was your inspirations growing up? Obviously, being a vocalist, were you inspired by vocalists, or were you inspired maybe by guitarists, or did you just happen to be a vocalist? You know, how did that all come about?
Constantly inspired by many different musicians. My whole family plays. So my dad plays the drums, and my mom sings, and I have 2 brothers, and they, you know, just took really naturally to music. But, you know, Led Zeppelin, a lot of classic rock. My dad loved Deep Purple. I can't say, sorry, Deep Purple. I'm not, like, a huge fan, but they are obviously amazing musicians. So I grew up around a lot of classic rock, and then the 80s happened, and my mom loved Bon Jovi and all this stuff. But always listened to, you know, great singer-songwriters, too, like Jim Croce and Carole King, Joni Mitchell. Joni Mitchell is, you know, my favorite songwriter. And then the grunge era happened, and my older brother was listening to Soundgarden and Nirvana and Smashing Pumpkins, and then I got into the Cranberries and Fiona Apple and Alanis Morissette, and I'm just always being inspired. But yeah, some bands like Radiohead was probably the first band with Johnny Greenwood playing guitar that I felt like, whoa, this dude is doing something really special. Something that really touched me. That was a time when I was writing a lot of music. So even though I was inspired, you know, by Led Zeppelin and Queen when I was younger, I didn't realize really what it meant until I was writing my own music, and how difficult it is to, make something so artistic, but something people can also remember and it can stick into their heads.
Right. Interesting. Okay, so we're not fans of Deep Purple. We're
sorry.
kidding.
I feel so bad because my dad loves
But
it.
Radiohead rules.
Smoke on the Water. That's a great song. It's just so busy for me. Like my mind can't really follow all the organ stuff, which obviously is incredible. But yes, I'm not a big Deep Purple fan.
Actually, we're going to switch subjects and take a little bit more of a lighter approach. Being on tour, the Snowcore tour, and like we're talking how appropriate it is. Adelies Way, Framing Hanley, and Rival Sons. I'm sorry. Fit for Rivals. We're going to edit that out. But being on tour right now in the Snowcore tour, being appropriate, due to the weather, how cold it is, and you're on tour with 3 different bands: Adelies Way, Framing Hanley, and Fit for Rivals. You got to have some good war stories, some good maybe bus stories that you can share with us, possibly with the bands.
Well, we all travel separately. So although we do have Ryan who oversees all the snowboard stuff on tour with us on our bus. But so the other guys, Framing Hanley is in an RV, Fit for Rivals and Adelaide's Way are in vans. So we kind of all are getting to know each other first, and number 2, we all kind of travel separately. So there hasn't been anything too exciting to speak of. I'm just happy that everyone's made it to the venue safely. I always, before we head out each night, I'm like, drive safe, don't, because I was in a van and trailer in Vadera, my previous band, for 7 years. We never made it to a bus. And it's, you got to really be careful out there this time of year.
Especially today, it's really treacherous out there. When fans come to a Flyleaf show, 2015, obviously things are different because you're in the band, but I haven't personally seen you. So say somebody brand new like myself hasn't seen you play with Flyleaf, what can the fans expect?
Well, I never had the pleasure of seeing Flyleaf play before I joined the band, but I think it's certainly a high energy show. I try to inspire people to to have a good time and be connected to the music and feel the music. So I'm definitely putting it all out there. I'm not letting anything back, and I don't think the guys are either. And so I think they can expect a dynamic, emotional show, and we'll be playing songs from all the Flyleaf albums.
Okay. Between the Stars, check it out, the new disc from Flyleaf, and you can go, I'm saying flyleaf.com, hopefully. Is that
Flyleafmusic.com.
Flyleafmusic.com. Check it out, Twitter and Facebook and all the social media sites. And we can't get that possibility of 2015 tour from April.
I'm sorry. I don't want to get in trouble. But it's coming.
It's coming.
Soon. Please listen, to our websites and Twitter and stuff.
Stay tuned to the sites that I just mentioned and check out Kristen on the road with Flyleaf. BackstageAxxess. Thanks for taking the time.